Hello and welcome to Zondell, Lands of Discordance. This is a Dungeons & Dragons 5e campaign. We have 5 of our players here, and another that will be another couple who plan to be just running a little late. So, most of the gang. Where we last left off, the majority of the party was still in Frostheart, just at the exit to the sewers underneath Castle Ebenpeak. However, Sil, Dobbs, and this other unnamed figure are in the Barrows. First, we'll go with the majority. What are you choosing to do now that you've managed to at least get to the exit of the sewers?
Well, Darwin's checking on Riordan since he was the closest one to the thing that caused, for whatever reason, Dobbs and Sills to disappear.
Yes, I am Riordan. How may I assist you today?
Darwin's just checking up for injuries and whatnot. He's asking general questions of, hey, what was it that Dobbs and Sill disappeared to, and similar questions along those lines, trying to figure out what the hell just caused the 2 strongest fighters we had to just vanish.
Does he need to make an intelligence or arcana check? Or would he have heard her say gate, and then the gate would have appeared and...
Let's have you make a perception check or arcana check in terms of whether or not you heard her say it, or if you recognized the spell itself. If you heard it, even though it wouldn't be just literally gate in the language, it would still be something that you would likely understand from, having similar enough spells.
What's his name? There we go. Do I want the +5 or the +6? So let's go with 24.
Okay. Yeah, you know what happened, basically.
Riordan's gonna tell Darwin that Sil brought up a gate spell, but the spell gate, and she pushed what's his name, the big guy, into the gate, and when she fell through, she could no longer keep the concentration on that spell, so she was on a different plane of existence, screwing us all over.
Darwin would breathe a sigh of relief and simply say, well, at least they're not dead, because if they're running away that quickly from something, it's probably a lot more than we can handle.
Oh yes, that thing is truly terrifying.
I would assume so, based on how quickly we got the hell out of Dodge.
It was something far scarier than my nightmares. Reality.
I have multiple questions, but I really don't want to ask them.
Just don't ask me about my honeymoon.
Wasn't planning on it, Riordan.
Well, this is about 700 and... Anyways, we should inform Count Strahd what's happening here, and the monstrosity abomination thing underneath this castle.
Exactly what was it? I'm pretty sure you were the only one besides Dobbs and Sills that actually saw whatever it was.
I have no words for what it is. Only fear.
I really hope it's not tied to that Minotaur fellow we encountered earlier, because that alone there was a pain to deal with. If it turns out there's a group associated with that Minotaur, we're going to be in for a hell of a time.
Was it big, hairy, and pink?
I wish. I so wish benevolence. That would have been much more
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was
easy
big
to
and pink. I don't know
undermine.
about the hairy part.
Okay.
By the way,
Gonna keep me
benevolence.
awake at night.
Yes. Darwin would also apologize to Benevolence, purely because Darwin had tackled Benevolence into a dimension door to get him out of there, since he had the highest amount of metal on him. That magnet kept on pulling everybody.
So, I don't know how I had the most metal because I don't even wear armor. One.
No, still would be the most heavily.
Literally, I am completely made out of stone. I think I have a
A
sword.
shield.
Yeah, the shield's like the most metal I got on me, pretty much.
You had enough that you needed a little bit of help to keep your items, but not enough that you were that you couldn't just ditch your items if you had to.
Oh, well, it's okay. It's fine. I'm alive. You're alive. You wombo, me wombo, we all wombo. It's okay. It's
I'm
fine.
going to pretend I know what that means.
I don't even know what it means. I'm going back to my butterflies.
We should get back to castle post haste. Hate post haste. So, can Riordan see the top of the cliff?
You can't see the top so much as the edge. Like if you're trying to dimension door something up to there, there's not a solid surface. You'd be like just in the air. You could dimension door to part of the cliff, where there's like small indents and hope that you can, climb up the rest of the way. Otherwise, you could go toward the west and go up the mountain ridge and then go across.
So if he were to get on the tree, would he get a better view of the top of the... Would he be able to see more of the top over there? Like, from the point that they dropped from, that's the point that he'll look for.
Okay. Repeat that just again. There was a small sound on my side.
Like the point where he used his arcane gate, he'll look for that same point. Can he find it?
Well, the arcane gate was back in the sewers that Sil used.
No,
Are
she
you talking
used
about...
she used the actual gate spell. He has arcane gate, which he used the first time to get down.
Okay, so you're talking about
everybody
to get down.
there.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
from the angle you wouldn't be able to. You pretty much were sticking your head out far enough to be able to look down where you were aiming in the first place. And just from the angle being lower down at the exit of the swamp, you could maybe see up to, say, a balcony of Castle Evan Peak way up there, but you'd have to get out of the sewers. From where you're at, you're not far enough away.
Okay.
You're basically looking up a sheer rock wall. There's a slight
All
angle,
right.
but it's not much.
So he's gonna suggest to the group that they get back in the tree and get to a position where he could get a clear enough view of the castle in order for him to cast the arcane gate, which has a 500 range.
Darwin would pipe in and just say, well, if we're just trying to send a message to Strahd, I could just write a message in the clouds. He has plenty of guards. Someone should be able to see the message and pass it along.
Well, we also need to make a plan, and it'd be faster if we were there while he was making the plan. Unless we just tell him and then leave this plane and like, good luck, Strahd. It's your problem now, but that doesn't seem right. Or I could just go, and whoever else wants to go.
Well, that's the issue, is we do need to have some people keep an eye on down here. Because if that thing manages to squeeze out, that's going to be a whole new issue we're going to have to deal with.
So who wants to go back to the castle? Riordan's raising his hand.
Where can I see the most butterflies?
Probably
In
in
the
the Wandering Woods.
Feywild.
I am here.
Oh, hey.
Hey, we have a Finnick.
It's iron.
Hey, Benny.
It's iron. The dream team, troublemaking team.
What did I miss?
Oh boy. Let the GM
It's
tell
more
you.
like, what did we miss altogether? So here's what happened. Here's the gist of what I got.
I will sum things up. Essentially, plant
We're
person,
fucked.
stuff. We go to sewers, and dumbass person in a basket decides to light the entire sewers on fire and almost kills everyone. But luckily, we have healers and people who are shieldy, so everyone good. But then we go further, and then there's a big giant fucking slime from hell, but only 3 people saw it, and 2 of them are in another realm now because of it. Last person really doesn't want to go and see it again, because it is scary, and it is big, and it is scary.
And it's
And
the
also,
guy that's
tried to steal everyone's
TV.
weapons. It's magnets, so it tried stealing everyone's weapons to pull it closer to it and stuff.
But what's more important is I still haven't caught a butterfly. I've seen a lot of them though.
Aww.
It's
Need
sad.
a net.
I know. But I'm so uncoordinated. Oh well. So yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
So now they're trying to figure out who should go back to the stronghold to go talk to Lord Strahd. I told them I just want to go where butterflies are, because it doesn't matter to me.
Well, what
So,
would be the benefits of staying in the sewers?
None.
none.
Okay, so sounds like that's a good plan.
To Strahd's castle we go. To Strahd's castle we go.
So do y'all raise your hand?
I
Or a
raise
tail, whatever. Finnick just raises both hands and all of her tails.
Nice.
I raise my hands.
Still counts as 1.
That's easily got to be 4.
How many tails do you have?
1 for now. I think it's like 1 every 100 years.
Jeez.
You only have 1, so you're only 100 years old?
I'm like 120. Gosh.
You're so young though. You look
I
good for
know.
120.
Thanks.
If only I knew I was friends with such a old young lady. Guys, this is weird for me. We don't
Still-
live this long.
Syl is 500 years old.
Yeah, well that's grandma. When I pick on her, I'm picking on a senior citizen, and I don't feel bad.
You should not. 'Cause she does
No.
not.
Well, I mean, me and her, last time I checked, we had a very interesting understanding.
Yes.
She still wanted
She
to kill
would
me.
kill
but it
you
was
last.
healthy. She would kill me last. It's good we're on a healthy playing field of death. Like, oh, I love you too. Yeah, me and Iron, rockin' Iron out here. Fifi and Benny killing it.
That
What?
sounds like a fun band name. Benny and Fifi.
Benny and one has to be wearing nine tails, and the other one has to be surrounded by rocks. You're not doing it right if it's not done like that. Anyway, onward to Lord Strahd's.
Count
Me and Strahd are on first name basis. Remember?
Strahd.
I
So what
point.
is his first
How
name?
you feel about that?
I'm gonna go with
And it's
Joe.
not
Final
Lord.
answer. I'm gonna go with
No.
Joe. Final answer.
No.
All right. Well, can I have a second final answer?
Yes.
Joseph.
It's Strahd.
Oh.
We already. Anyone else want to come along? The bridge is quite stable.
Yes.
Okay. And everybody who's down in the sewers is going across, and then Riordan, you're just going to immediately do the arcane gate or prepare anything?
Can I, from this angle, can I see where I used it the first time?
You can see close enough, because of the balconies and the angle and such. You can kind of see it, but you can more easily see a way to get to the floor that's like 2 below it.
I don't know if it's gonna work. He has wards against teleportation.
He also has it set for certain people to be able to.
Oh, that's
get
right.
out
Those who have already been there can go back there.
if they've been added to it. Yes. They
Okay.
intentionally excluded the demon lords.
Alright, so he's gonna do his little thing, cast this, arcane gate in front of him, and then the other one on the balcony.
Okay. And how many can you take with them?
I can take 10 people?
Okay.
Yeah, so if everybody wants to go, I think we've got enough slots for everybody to go, technically.
Anyone can go up to 10 minutes or until I drop concentration.
Okay, that's what I'm just checking as far as who you're planning all in all and taking it.
Well, I'm taking Fifi and Benny because they said they were wanting to go.
Hey, the squad.
Okay.
And then Riordan's gonna ask one last time, anyone else want to come along from
We
our
need
original group?
We need no one else. We have us. Us is enough.
Lady Solarnum walks closer.
Sorry, you would not be allowed into the castle.
She arches a brow.
There are wards around that prevent people that Strahd has not specified to be in there. Will prevent you from being in there.
Can you make it right outside the castle gate so we can all go?
I could make it on like the very edge, but that would be where I could see snow, and if one of us steps on that, could like we could fall through that snow.
Is falling through the snow a bad thing? Because I'm still catching up.
Yes, that cliff face is a sheer cliff face.
Ooh, okay. Gotcha. Wasn't sure. I'm back. I'm back with you guys now. I'm like, wait, what?
It's okay. Yes.
Darwin adds in, well, if there are some people that can't go, since I can kind of send messages as need be, I could stay down here on the ground, keep communications between us if need be.
Right.
You could perhaps send a message ahead of us, attempting to go up, see if they will temporarily allow me in.
Yes, I was gonna inform him about you, as you have stated that you would like to meet him. And I think you'd be interested in meeting you, at least.
She nods, but she looks over at Darwin, who said he could message.
Can you message him? Asks Riordan, looking down at the dwarf.
My apologies, I had to step out of the lobby again because for some reason I think the smart thing is to blast copyrighted music at 10 decibels. Louder than they really should be. Darwin would nod and just simply say, I've got a bit of a simple spell. I can write a short message up in the clouds. I can put it right above Count Strahd's castle, and knowing how many guards he has running around, someone's bound to be looking at the sky. Especially since that's really the only way you can get in if you don't teleport, flying in.
Well,
Well, what? Huh? Did I miss something in the sentences?
would you be able to send a message so that I might be able to enter?
No, that should be easy. Just cracks knuckles casually. I don't have my character sheet in front of me, so I don't remember if it's just somatic or if it's verbal and somatic for the skywrite, but we'll just pretend it's both verbal and somatic. And the word limit, I remember this very vividly because I was thinking about this the other day. It is a 10-word limit for the skywrite, so he would
Why don't
simply
you
have
just-
to do... What?
Lady Solarnum, why don't you just write down the message and I can deliver it to him?
I mean, if you're going to him anyways, do you really need a written message? Because then you can just tell him face to face.
It would be safer if most of us would be able to go up there with you, would it not?
Someone needs to keep an eye out over here to make sure to give us a warning if that thing comes out.
I'm sure that Darwin, with the ability to shape the clouds and is warforged and others in the stump house can do that.
Yeah, I mean, the only ones who would not be able to come with me are you, lady, and
Lelani.
Leilani. Leilani.
Lelani. Lelani. Lelani? Am I having a stroke?
Well, what shall it be then?
Well, the general hope is when I collapsed in the part of that sewer tunnel, the general hope is it's not going to attempt to squeeze through because I will still take a tremendous amount of energy. And why would it waste energy like that going through a much more tiny and hopefully uncomfortable space compared to taking up half of the life of the space they had in that chamber?
You know what?
The chamber is connected to the sewers beneath the castle you've set.
Exactly what I was thinking. You just gave it the idea that now, instead of going out the biggest way, it can go out the middle way, which would be up
Which would make it
into the
But why
castle.
for
would
us
it?
to all go and be able to help, would it not?
Yep. So, do your little skywrite thing, and then once we get, if we get the okay from Strahd, then I'll do my gate, arcane gate, and send all of us up there.
Gotcha. All right, so for the Skywrite message, then Darwin would simply have Count Strahd need to come to castle, have guests, because I can have unlimited punctuation, I believe. How many letters was that? Let's see, so Strahd, comma, need to come to castle, another comma, guests need permission. 9 words.
Darwin, and Nate put Darwin.
Oh yeah, and then that way it's not just a random message popping up.
Yeah. Oh, this is another ad block.
He's got ad block on it unless it says from Darwin.
Okay.
That's who it's to, who it's from, and what we need done. So there we go.
Alright. Go ahead and make a straight persuasion check.
I need to do it through the Discord thingy. 1 second. Oh, now's not the time to have 50,000 notifications while I'm trying to type. Total result of 27.
Okay.
Alright, so I've just solved something. What if nobody in the castle knows how to do Skywrite back?
They could just throw notes over the edge down at us.
Yeah, well, they're not going to know where we're at.
Yeah,
that's
they
the
can't
issue.
see this.
They can see the
stump
message,
house.
but they can't see where we are. Well, I mean, I guess, but how are they going to know we're at the stump house? You know? Did we tell them we're going to the stump house?
Because we told him we're gonna be at the sewers.
After,
I suppose.
after a couple of minutes of waiting, Darwin,
Aye.
who is it that you are needing permission to bring up? You
Am I
hear
just
that
hearing that in my head?
in your head? Yes. As Strahd is using sending on you.
Ah. Am I just able to reply? Is that how that works?
Yes.
Darwin just be like, 2 individuals, we have a Lady Solarnum and a Meleni. 2 individuals we have met along the way who've been helping us deal with this, essentially. It's very hard to describe.
There's a brief pause before we will allow the woods to go down for a minute and offer a item for temporary access for the two figures of which you are describing. However, if there is a problem with it, then there shall be great difficulty posed for you if they turn out not to be trustworthy. You understand this, yes?
I think they've proven themselves to be trustworthy enough. To be honest, I believe one of them strong enough that if they wanted us dead, they would have done so long ago. But they've done nothing but be helpful to us. And frankly, we may need them if we're going to deal with what we just found under your castle, Count Strahd.
Very well. Let them know that they may come up.
Alrighty. Darwin's going to pass along that information then to Lady Solarnum and Lelani, letting him know that Count Strahd gave him the A-OK, but the added stipulation of essentially, like, in layman's terms, don't fuck shit up. Simplest way to put it.
And then Riordan would do his spell.
Okay.
Poof. Arcane Gate.
Alright. And everybody starts going up, as long as you don't interrupt it.
Yep. Riordan will be the last one.
I'm sorry, but I can't respond for the reason you hear through my microphone. Alright, my apologies. What was just said?
Do you want to go through the portal, or do you want to stay down here and guard the entrance to that thing that is of nightmares?
You know what? We could leave the robot fellow down here.
Oh yeah, they're staying here. Only Lady and Leilani are going, because those are the only two he allowed. Those are the only two you mentioned.
Yeah. Well, you don't know that.
That is
He's
true.
Or wait, does sending get sent to one person, or...
No, it gets sent back to Strahd.
Okay. I'm unsure. Ooh, hold on a moment. My Discord just crashed. Nope, I'm still here.
Okay. And as you all go up, Strahd and Giselle are there to greet you. And Lady Solarnum has a very slight smile, for there is a soft pink cloud exuded.
Uh-huh.
I just remembered, I forgot about the fact that Darwin never got healed after he got fucking crisped in the entrance of the sewer, so he probably doesn't look too good right now.
A lot of people don't look too good.
Well, yeah, but I've been doing a pretty good job healing, for the most part.
Yeah, but our clothes. You can't heal clothes.
No, but some of us are considerably more deep-fried than others.
Anyways. Tis but a flesh wound.
Okay.
I don't know about that. Flesh wounds kill a lot. It's just like constant bickering between Darwin and Riordan, contemplating what a flesh wound is.
I wouldn't say bickering. It is a conversation in the
discussion.
background.
Okay. And with that, we will skip over to the Barrows. Dobbs, Sill, and this new stranger.
So Dobbs, gonna poke him with a stick. Are you awake? Because you're just standing there being weird.
Arendelle? Dobbs?
He must have found a butterfly.
Must have.
Is it on me now?
Yes.
What's going on? Sorry, I was eating.
Just jumped to the Barrows where it's you and Sill and this new stranger. So
Yes, Dobbs. I want you to meet not Phyllis.
Hi, not Phyllis.
maybe you can suggest a different name than that.
Steve.
No,
Not
we
that
already
idea.
have two Steves.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
She just looks back and forth between the two of you. The rest of people you're with typically like this?
Dobbs is like the strong, silent type, and the others are normal people, for the most part. Except that one chick that wears all white. You don't want to get near her. She's a weirdo.
Oh, is this a girl?
Yes.
Oh, Stephanie.
Doesn't quite feel right, but better than Phyllis.
Sad day. It's just a female version of Steve.
You catch on quick.
Well, we're in this large forest, the Barrows, as you said.
Yes.
So it's not inside of a big gooey ooze mess. I've vague, very faded memories of forests and mountains, but not like this. This is huge.
Yes, this is would be more like a temperate area compared to the frozen climate of the Frostheart.
Siloqui,
Yeah.
when you made the gate, did you aim for anywhere specific in the Barrows?
Yes, I did. it was Syl's childhood home. So, like, maybe 10 feet away, there's like this crumbled building with weeds and the trees and sticking out of it. Because no one's lived there for 400 years.
Okay. So yes, it is there. However, there are some things living in it.
Fantastic.
You can see there's an assortment of termites and rodents that have made it their home.
She's gonna check in the back to see if the grave is still there of her father. Because he's alive now. So she's gonna see if, like, he crawled out of the grave or something like that.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check.
That is.
How much was it?
26.
26. Okay. Did she bury him in a casket or anything, or is it just a straight burial?
She would have buried him. How did the elves do it? Not with a casket, that's for sure. Yeah, she would have, like, dug him 6 feet deep and then put stones at the bottom and around him, cover him with dirt, and put some stone on that.
Okay.
Like a cairn?
A bit. A cairn typically doesn't use as much dirt, but yeah. Yeah, the thing does seem sunken in. It doesn't look like anything crawled out from it, but like whatever was there has vanished from the bottom of the hole.
Okay. That's interesting. Maybe an undead. How big are these termites?
It's about the size of your hand.
They're noticeable.
Oh yeah.
Freaking tarantulas.
Yeah. Even with the tar and other types of stuff that would have been used to treat your home, just water and wind and time would have worn it away enough that some of the wood would have been exposed. And slowly but steadily, despite the fact that it's not the tastiest of wood, some would occasionally just come and nibble holes in it. It's just
Okay.
a little easier than the still alive trees that are resisting it with sap and other things.
Alright. Well, her home would have been... Oof. Deep into the forest, far away from any of the big cities, that's for sure. But near... the closest one that I remember would have been Eld's Crossing. It would have been that area.
Okay.
So she's gonna tell everyone this is her childhood home and that the closest town is a couple weeks away. Or, here's a big or. We could just stay here and never go back. Or, I can use that spell again, take us back to the castle.
While you are discussing and debating this, go ahead and make a perception check. And Dobbs, you may make one as well.
All of us?
Dobbs, the rest aren't in that.
Oh,
room.
right. We moved on. Sorry.
Can I use my passive perception?
You may.
Fantastic.
Either way, it's
That is
18.
24.
Okay. Siloqui.
Yes. Present.
You notice something lowering down one of the trunks of a nearby tree toward Stephanie.
Close suck.
Do I know what it is?
You saw something similar, but not quite as large before when you came back to the Barrows from Stormhold.
Oh, God. I hope it's a spider and not one of the undead. Is it a spider?
It is not a spider. It is not a snake.
Oh! You mean... Oh... The... things that attacked us when we were flying over... No. This is when we actually first dropped out of that portal. That thing that was in that tree.
Yes.
Ah, no. And it's bigger?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dobbs, there's something over there, points in the direction, that needs to die. And it had insulted your mother.
Well, she was a bitch.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It still needs to die.
Go ahead and roll
There.
initiative at advantage.
Initiative, plus 10.
18.
23. So it's gonna be like, don't worry, not Phyllis, I'll protect you.
You mean Stephanie?
Stephanie, not Phyllis.
We'll figure it out later. Sil, you go first. As
Fantastic.
this very long, muscular protrusion starts moving toward Stephanie.
Okay. I'm going to attack that protrusion.
I might die. What? I might. Maybe.
So... I have advantage since it hasn't taken a turn yet. How far away is it?
At present, it is 55 feet.
Poop. Oh, she could bonus action dash.
The base of the tail is 55 feet. I'd say the tail is probably about 30.
Yeah, I'll go attack the closest. So just run over there with my... Don't have that So I'll use my... Take out her elven sword? Short sword, and her sword breaker. She'll attack with both.
Okay.
So that is a 23 for the short sword. Does that hit?
Just hits.
Oh, fantastic! 3, 9, 12, 16, 18, 24, 29, 36 slashing damage with an adamant
Okay.
elvish sword. Yeah. And then with her normal steel sword breaker, that is a 28.
That hits.
That is 10 slashing damage. And then she is going to be in front of Stephanie Nut Phyllis.
All right. Dobbs, it is your turn.
How far away is it?
The end of the tail is about 28 feet.
Run up to it. Bonus action dash. I miss. Maybe. Well, I don't know. Does an 18 hit?
It misses.
Yep. Does a 26 hit?
A 26 does hit.
Okay. DC 20 strength. Actually, DC 20 dex save. Fuck all these strength checks.
Okay. Fails.
It is prone. Oh. That's my last point for that until I rest.
And it takes 7 bludgeoning damage from the fall.
And hold on. Uh, 39 magical slashing with 3 of that as force. And I will action surge using the daily. The 26 again.
Hits.
32 magical slashing. 3 of which is force. And 30 for the last attack.
That hits.
Aw. Three of which is force. God damn it. Forgot I had advantage because it was prone. Whatever's.
Still hit it either way, so.
Right. But I didn't crit! I could have crit.
Yeah, well, if you rolled it and you didn't crit, you didn't crit.
Yeah.
Alright. And is going to.
And it's immune to crits anyways.
Oh, it wishes.
You shut up. Stop raining, I'm afraid.
Okay. Vessel is going to attack. They move over, and as they are moving their arm out, the gauntlet flashes and the icon on it changes into a dagger. They're looking at it as they're in mid-swing and stab it into it. Well, into the tail part. And they deal 3 slashing and 4 poison.
Yeah.
Or piercing, not slashing.
I take it this thing's big?
Yes, it is big.
It's
It
a
is very big.
it's a giant creature.
This one's bigger than that.
Oh
the-
boy.
The neck has a 20-foot reach, and the tail has a 60-foot reach.
Oh, so the one we met before was just a baby.
No, this one is an elder.
Oh, okay. I'm glad they don't get any bigger.
Why are we fighting it
Knock
then
on
now?
wood.
I was trying to sneak attack onto Stephanie before Sil noticed it.
Mm.
I don't know.
Well,
Could have been the
unavoidable
end of all
fights
of
are
our
unavoidable.
problems.
Unavoidable fights are unavoidable fights, I guess.
I mean,
Well,
let
Sil
the MacGuffin go
started
away.
attacking it instead of just, hey, let's run. So,
Yep.
kind of was on Sil.
This time, Sil will take full responsibility.
I'm gonna see how far these 30 hit points get me.
Alright.
They're gonna take you to the end, comrade. To the end of the fight when you go down and it eats you.
Well, at least I still have second wind.
Yeah, whopping 1d10. That's
No.
ridiculous.
It's 1d10 per fighter level.
Is it?
Oh, 1d10 plus fighter level.
Yeah, I was. If it was per fighter level, that'd be perfect. But it's not.
Just double checking, but no.
It's, yeah, I was looking at it thinking, going, no, yeah, that was like, that sounds really good.
Smack it with my experiences.
And they are going to disengage.
Don't worry, Sil's at full health. If it does more than 30 damage, we run. Okay? Okay.
Well, it's at, it is at half speed since it has to get up.
Does
If it moves, yeah.
I was about to say, it has a 60-foot reach with the tail.
And you lowered it further down because it was up in the tree. So, alrighty. So that ends her turn. It's got 3 ripe targets.
1, 2, 3, not it.
Dobbs,
Nose-
you are it.
Nose.
It's gonna
The-
attack him?
Tail lashes out.
Nose. I nosed it. Not it.
That is a 21 to hit.
Syl's gonna use her reaction to use her sentinel feet to attack it.
Okay.
I don't have a battle master die. That I haven't leveled yet. So that hits.
Okay.
So next level, I was gonna get a level 8 fighter, and then I was gonna grab like the parry thing, feet. Since this two-handed weapon counts as a finesse weapon for me right now.
All right. The tail lashes out, piercing into Dobbs' back, and tendrils from near the tip worm into his back. You are
How much damage?
stuck on it. 19 piercing damage.
Ooh, I'm not dead.
With my reaction attack, can I try to cut him up, that off?
You may attempt to do so.
That's a 19 plus 13, carry the 1, 32. That's going to be their Addy sword.
So you do hit. So how much damage do you do?
Max damage. That's 13 slashing damage. Hiya!
Alright, and it's going to roll a con, see if it lets go. Actually, that would be a strength, but still, a nat 1, I don't think so.
Fuck yeah! You're welcome, Dobbs.
Yay. Do I still take the 19 damage?
Yes, because it's still
Okay.
pierced into you.
Sure.
It's just-
I didn't know if like he
Shook
was
it back.
like trying to keep it from hitting
Because
me.
Because they specified that they were trying to get you loose instead of just dealing damage. That was
Sure.
why I had to roll the strength check. So could have just damaged it without trying to do that, but it wouldn't have stopped the attack.
Boo.
Unless she would have taken it for you, but she doesn't like you that much.
Okay,
Hurts my
and it
feelings.
hadn't gotten you up in the air yet, so you don't take any bludgeoning from the fall.
Yay!
All right. As it ends its turn, it is. 1 second. It's going to use its reaction
Boo! They don't have reaction.
to use a beak skewer attack at Sil.
Bring it, home slice.
It's reacting to his reaction.
It's a legendary reaction.
I thought a reaction has to be triggered.
If damaged by or seeing a moving foe within 20 feet, it is able to use a beak skewer attack.
Oh, that's dumb.
That's why it's
I don't think it's going to hit, though, with only a 12.
Fuck you! Just raising all the death flags here.
Alright. And then it is Sil's turn.
Alright. Time for more slashy slash.
Is it still prone?
It is still prone, yes.
You have advantage.
That is...
Sil, you have advantage.
Yeah, I just rolled a 20... Uh, 2.
Okay.
Right? 8 plus 13. That's 21.
21.
Misses.
Ah! Well, she has her other weapon. Here. Nat 20. Whoop whoop.
That hits.
That is 4 plus 7, 11 slashing.
Really bringing it home.
Hey, any damage is good damage.
That's true.
Okay.
Don't you have sneak attack?
Shit, I do. I'm fucking. My bad. I was spacing out. So that's.
It's bloody goofy. I'll do it again.
Well, that's 14d6. Use dice. Okay, that's better. That is 51 slashing damage.
Is that including the original 11?
Yes. So it would have been 40 more damage.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about. I was like, I thought you were a rogue.
I thought it was with the first attack, but it's once per turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. And Sil, does that end your turn?
Is that with the crit damage or without the crit damage?
I was with the crit damage.
You
I rolled
low.
low. I know. Bonus action. Stephanie, not Phyllis, is behind me, or how far away is she?
Yes. They disengaged and ran behind.
Okay. So Sil's just gonna stay there, being Stephanie, not Phyllis, knight in shining armor.
Not so shiny armor.
Suited, burnt armor.
Okay. It is going to use its first legendary action to
Poop.
make a multi-attack against Sil.
Yeah.
Bring it home, slice.
So, it is going to do a tail strike and 2 claw attacks.
Cool.
So, that is a 17 on the tail strike,
Miss.
8 on the claw attack,
That miss.
and nat 20 on the second claw attack.
Ooh,
That misses.
That misses, right?
She's immune to crit. She has adamant.
Well, I mean, at least it's normal damage.
No, she doesn't. I'm lying.
I know. I'm just getting the die
He
ready.
fooled me.
The only adamantine she has is her elvish short sword.
And that is 13 slashing damage.
I can take that.
That's with the crit? Man, he rolled low too.
Oh, wait. No, that would be 26. Sorry. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Bah! Damn it!
I did.
Well, I'm gonna use
roll
my
moderate.
reaction to half that damage. Meh.
Alright. And then that is Dobbs' turn.
Pay no attention to the sounds. Let's be a 26. Roll better than that. Doo-doo-doo. $31 magical slashing. 2 of which is force. Damn it. Why can't I crit on a 19?
Because you didn't go
31.
champion.
Right. 31 to hit.
Okay.
36, 3 of which is force damage. And then bonus action, second wind. 10.
Okay.
Here, D10. Oh, I have one. Yeah! Max. I heal for 17. So I can potentially take one more hit.
Nice.
All right.
And that is my turn.
Okay. As it slumps on the ground, Stephanie is going to move over and do a acid splash.
Did it fall unconscious?
It did.
Yay! I live again!
It could be playing possum.
All right. That hits.
Nice.
Just trying to get it to roll. That's 13. And that is a death save fail.
Nice.
And she is going to try and stab it with that same envenomed dagger. Since she's right there. She misses, even with advantage.
Damn.
That sucks.
It happens, bro. It happens.
It's all on the floor and unconscious. You'd trip and like hit the ground next to it.
Yeah, it's
It
it's
twitches.
more. The blade sinks and slides with the feathery body and musculature and hide underneath the fur and feathers.
My way is much, much more embarrassing for her.
More embarrassing for the Elder Kingfisher. Rolled a nat 1.
Nice.
Oh, it just died!
Nice.
All right. So, yeah, her acid, as it is barely breathing in and out, the acid that's still on there and all the wounds, it just sinks in enough that there's just...
Sue's gonna cut off its head.
Okay.
Make sure.
How big is this thing?
Lengthwise, it's about 100 feet.
That's not that big.
Oh, is it a snake?
No, it is not. Actually, it'd be more 120.
Oh, that's a little big. Still seem bigger though.
What kind of creature is it?
Kingfisher.
It's called an elder kingfisher. It has the appearance of almost like a bird, but not quite. There's bits where there's rough hide, almost not quite, but almost like scales, more like a elephant or rhinoceros, but thicker. Other parts that are just long fur and feathers throughout it. It seems camouflaged toward the bark of the trees around.
So we
Not
killed
while it's
a
in the
feathery dinosaur.
of a sort.
It's like a chimera.
Its tail has a very sharp barb with tendrils, which, when it stuck into you, you could see and feel were spreading around and trying to twitch your muscles from the inside.
Oh, he was trying
Nice.
to puppet me.
Oh yes, it did that before.
Oh
the
yeah,
first
it
one
did.
was found
With
and,
that lady.
Yes.
Thank you for getting me out of that. Really.
Yes, that's
when-
totally why I did that.
The
'cause I
first time
remembered
that a regular one showed up, it ended up puppeteering Pine, who shot at people and kept missing.
Yeah, nice. So gonna take off that head, just for the hell of it.
Roll it for loot, I guess.
So, go ahead and make survival checks, both of you, if you are trying to harvest parts.
That's a. Can I use my passive survival? I don't know. Oof. That's a 9.
$25.
Gonna need your help with this head over here.
Dobbs, what are you trying to harvest aside from possibly helping Sil with the head?
How dense are the claws?
They're basically like a raptor in that particular case. They're sharp and dense, but they're not really heavy for how big they are. They're bone.
Are they
they're
pointy or are
not.
they bladed?
They are pointy.
Okay. So it doesn't have that inward blade.
No.
Do its feathers seem kind of strong?
You imagine with how many that it has, and how big and large that it is, they're more likely feathers that are used for keeping it warm and helping with the camouflage, maybe even a little bit of gliding, not so much flight or anything of that sort. They're more akin to down.
Help with the head. I want to retrieve some claws. Potentially enough feathers to make like a suit, a ghillie suit.
The chicken suit.
And I want to crawl inside of it and rip out its gallbladder and eat it.
Oh. Nasty.
And absorb its strength.
Sure, because that's where strength comes from.
Yeah. And a heart. Do a little ceremony.
Okay.
While we're doing this, Sil's gonna be telling Stephanie, not Phyllis, that she's just took her first steps to being an adventurer. And we should celebrate it, and I'll give you one of its fangs. Oh, it doesn't have fangs, does it? It has like a beak, right?
It has a beak with kind of teeth protrusions, but you'd be breaking the beak to get them out.
Are the teeth serrated or pointy?
They're more pointy. There's like small ridging, enough that helps tear, but it's not serration to the point of even like your standard cutting knife.
Took enough teeth to make a necklace out of it.
Well, it's like a beak. Just then they're not individual teeth.
Right, you just break off the little teethy parts. Because I assume they'll be big enough to be like maybe a couple inches long. At the very least, right?
Yeah, about 3 inches.
Yeah. So break them off. And make so I can make a necklace out of it at some point.
Okay. As you're in the midst of harvesting all of this, and with Dobbs' help, the head is able to be more separated instead of hanging on sinew and stretching. There is a sound of shuffling feet in the underbrush.
If it's a ranger or druid, we may be screwed.
19 perception.
Okay.
Hey, not 20. 34 perception.
Okay. All three of you see as there are several people, some who are only children, some who are adults of mature age, some who are elderly.
Are they elves?
Walking. It's an assortment of different races. And you can see, as they are walking, that there's a very long, slender protrusion coming up, up, up from behind them. And then there is a sound of something scurrying along bark.
Oh my god, it's another one.
There are about 12 of these puppeted individuals.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Are they coming from the same creature?
No, they are not. Even the elder had only one tail. You likely would assume that this area, which once was Syl's home, has since become home to a nest of kingfishers. You probably just killed the elder of the nest.
Well, at least it keeps getting easier from here. Silver lining.
I think this is a sign you guys need to run. Personal opinion.
So how big is this head?
The head itself, from tip of the beak to where the neck meets, I would say is about 12 feet.
How much does it weigh?
You got a bag of holding, right?
I don't have a bag of holding.
Why not?
But I do have strength.
One moment. I would say it's about 1,400 pounds.
Poof, that
Just
is
the head?
way past my...
It's bigger than the head of an elephant, so I took...
But it's a bird. It should be like light.
hollowed.
That's why
Yeah.
I lowered it down.
Yeah.
That's me cutting out 500 pounds. That's almost a
All right.
weight.
At least we'll have the memory of us killing it and some of its beak.
Did I get all my random shit first?
Yes, this is afterwards. I mean, you have separated the head and everything else. But yeah, the blood and smell of the carcass definitely was enough to attract some of the others.
What do you guys want to do?
Not be here.
That's easier said than
For
done.
glory.
It's nice knowing you, Dobbs. At least give me your sword.
Glory to the living. I run.
We'll run the opposite direction then.
I try and sneak away. Ooh, that's a 7 on my stealth.
Okay.
I mean, and if I hear myself clank, I'll start trying to sneak, and then I was like, oh, I don't think this is working. And then,
Yeah, aren't you wearing plate armor?
hey, it's only disadvantage. The bigger number was 19.
Yeah, they're definitely moving towards you. The fact that
Shit.
these things have to climb down the trees and then across the ground, moving their puppets forward with them.
I think they saw me. Let's run.
Yeah, it definitely seems like they are giving chase.
Scylla's gonna ask Stephanie Notfelis if she knows any fire spells that could potentially ignite the trees.
While they are running and thinking on it, they're like, "Aren't we under the trees?"
Not
Well.
when we run past them.
Yeah.
As we're running.
Yeah, she does think on it, but the only thing I think I have in that regard is if I go and touch the tree, so I don't think that's going to help.
Yes, you need to always get consent before touching it.
She just has burning hands, so that won't help if she's trying to run away.
No, it would. Well, it would help us. She'd get, sacrificed for the greater good.
Okay. As you are running, we will jump back to Castle Evan Peak.
Dun dun dun.
Yarge.
Okay.
Hi.
Kale, Darwin, Riordan. Roll wisdom saving throws.
Alrighty. That's not the right
Again.
dice. There's the right dice.
Is this her ability?
Not the right dice.
Is it her ability to charm?
Yeah.
It's not a spell.
It's wisdom, right?
Yes.
But is it a charming
19. Oorah.
It is.
Alright, so Riordan would get advantage.
He who should not be named has nothing on he who should not be charmed.
Okay. What did
that
you say
is-
it was?
Darwin got a 19.
Nice, I have a +6. That's a 21. 22, my bad, that's a 16.
Okay.
Saved by being an elf.
Oh, dwarf. I'm just made of rock. I'm
No,
stone man.
that's Benny.
Turns out he's muted accidentally. I was having it earlier.
Who is?
All.
Oh. Kel. Kel is his
AFK.
name.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like they've gone AFK. We will have to have their check later. So, Darwin, you get to feel like what the others felt when everybody else seemed to be acting a bit odd Strahd around her.
Ha 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 ha.
Do I realize that's happening to me?
It's not a spell. I'll
It's like
say
a drug,
go ahead
essentially.
and make a intelligence check at disadvantage.
Well, shit. That's decent. 12 plus. Oh, I'm only sitting on top of a 12.
Yeah, 12 plus 0.
So
Yeah,
no,
it's-
it seems perfectly reasonable to you, especially with how long that you've spent with her and the fact that you had earlier told Strahd that, you know, they've been nothing but helpful. You think?
So basically, I'm acting the same way I have been acting the entire time.
The way that you acted in order to not stand out, yes. You're now not doing it just
Doing it
not to stand out.
naturally.
I wasn't doing it in the first place not to stand out. I was just being nice.
Well, yes, you were being nice, but you did notice that the others were acting odd, and you were trying not to draw attention to it.
No, I just didn't care. Simps, they're all over the place.
Well, when it first happened, that's what you had stated, was you were...
I get you. I get
Yeah.
you.
And since that was, you know, only a little over 24 hours, so... Riordan, on the other hand, does save.
Being an elf does come in handy sometimes.
Next time I get to upgrade a stat, it's going into wisdom, guaranteed.
Take the
Upgrading that bitch like there's no tomorrow.
what's that feature? Resilient, where you gain a proficiency in one ability.
But yeah, true. That'd be really good.
I am Lady Solarnum, and it is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance.
She just extends her hand, and Strahd and Giselle give it a light kiss on the knuckle. Our allies have said that you have been of help to them, and pleasant to have around. It is an honor to have you in our abode.
To exactly break up the, what's the word for them? The pleasantries, but... Constrad, to put it simple, there's something very, very big and very, very bad sitting in the sewers of your castle currently, and it's enough so that in mere seconds it's caused our two bravest fighters to tell everyone else to run away before vanishing. We're still unsure on their full whereabouts at the moment.
It is a tad disconcerting, but aside from them, you all made it out safely, more or less. There are a few I don't see here. There's
Yes.
the Minotaur and the Warforged who went down to assist the rest. And I don't see Dobbs or Sill.
Dubs are still were the two I was talking about. Tor, I'll be honest, absolutely batshit insane. I've no idea what happened with that one, but either that Heart of Darkness got to him, or he was just batshit insane the entire time.
And Riordan's gonna be like, I'm going to put it in better terms. They attacked us, and we defeated them.
Well, unfortunately, they are ones who did not know better in that case. Hopefully, Dobbs and Sill will be alright. They are skilled enough combatants that You should be able to hold out for a while. You said they disappeared and you don't know where to?
According to...
Out of character,
Sorry.
would the gate spell show what's on the other side? Or is that just dimension door?
A dimension door doesn't show what's on the other side. Just
Yeah.
an instant teleport.
Yeah, Dimension Door is instant. Gate, because of the fact that if you don't go through it yourself immediately, it would show it in the instance that Riordan had seen it. Go ahead and do a perception check at disadvantage, because the two of them were running through, plus there's that which the stars rejected behind it, just to see if Riordan recognized it.
Excuse me, that is a 16.
You know it looked wooded. You don't know necessarily it's the Barrows, but somewhere that's not in the sewers.
It was a. We were just gonna say they went to a very green, wooded area. Possibly the Barrows, possibly someplace else. But they're definitely not in the Frostheart. Because they used the gate spell, which would mean they would have to go to another plane. So in theory, she could probably use it again to come back.
I
Aye,
was
but
not
what I'm
aware
worried
that
of-
she knew that spell.
Me neither. I definitely did not teach her that. I mean, I don't know where she would have learned that.
My primary worry is that whatever that thing was may have accidentally gotten in with them. Of course, to top that off, just one of its abilities, that thing down there, which some of us didn't get to see, it has a very strong magnetizing ability, basically yanking armor, weapons, anything with a decent enough metal composition, I suppose, right towards it. And also giant fucking lasers, as it would seem.
I certainly have no idea what that could be. It's nothing I've encountered. Certainly not something that I've flushed down there.
I would hope not, because based on the description Jordan gave me, quite massive. Quite large.
I do know that oozes can increase in size or multiply by how much they consume, but I don't recall any oozes that I shoved down there.
Especially not ones with lasers or giant magnets.
No.
And that's a new problem. Can't get down there.
Warden's gonna ask Lady Solarnum if that's description fits her rival's description.
She furrows her brow a moment and says,
Whatever it is, I can still know that it's down there. But the sensation of nearby rival vanished. It's possible it was attacking the rival, helping it, and it escaped. Possibly with Siloqui and Dobbs.
Oh. That's probably not good. Well, certainly not good. Not probably. There's no probable in this. There's certainly no good in that.
Riordan's also gonna say that he believes um, did Sil tell everyone what she read in that diary?
I don't remember.
I don't recall you saying that you told anybody.
Ah,
Shit.
then never mind. She certainly didn't tell anyone about the gas.
Oh, yeah, that would have been important too.
Nah.
Because currently the dashing dwarf smells a bit like crispy bacon. For a reason that should not be the correct reason for smelling like crispy bacon.
Crispy bacon smells good. You don't smell good.
Funnily enough, crispy bacon and crispy dwarf smell very similar.
No, they are not.
Oh, trust me, they are.
All right, Mr. Donner. There's a bit of talk as Strahd and Giselle get a few other people who might know more information, talking about the ooze, and nobody really knows exactly what it is, just more or less that, yeah, a lot of them have a strong consensus that oozes tend to be able to fit into small spaces, so probably a very strong sense of a problem if it doesn't have some other avenue of escape and chooses to go up the sewers. And the
I didn't do
magnetism
the
part,
best
as
job.
described,
Sorry.
definitely does not interest any of the guards who are being told to prepare for the possibility of having to fight without metal armor or be dragged toward it.
If they're strong enough, they don't exactly have to worry, but it's kind of the issue.
Mm-hmm.
To stack on top of that, though, is that there was only so much I could block down in the sewers. So, technically speaking, there's probably still an easier path by trying to squeeze and push out through the rocks that kind of caved in that little tunnel portion. It would be trying to go back up. But I mean, I guess we'll see what the big ooze fella decides on. I should probably remember, now that I'm back at home, to use up that spell slot for the skyrite earlier.
Well, I think that perhaps we need to work on concentrating neutralizing agents or the like, something to harm it very quickly, feed it something poisonous to it.
Anything that gets flushed down the drains, that's going to go straight to where the slime is. So, if we could find something that works, just flood the system with it, cleared out in a jiffy.
The problem is if we have something strong enough and whether or not as an ooze that it can simply eat it without caring.
That's the worrying part.
And unfortunately, 2 of the 3 who are closer aren't here.
Yes. As the old saying goes, this leaves us in quite a pickle.
Well, there is also the possibility of just leaving, blocking up all the holes.
Possibility.
But I imagine the valley being much warmer. It's not ideal a trip for one such as I to go through the forest hearts like this.
Up on top of that heart of darkness and everything else, this is a full platter. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the issues what everything boils down to right now.
Well, there's always the option of going to a different plane and coming back after a while. Seeing if we can starve it out. Of course, it might go toward the villages in the valley if that's the case.
Oh, you've already told me what I need to hear. We're not doing that.
Yeah, we could just leave.
No.
That'd be good. Yeah, leave.
It would expose
Tell everyone to leave.
make it easier to hit from a distance.
That plan's much better. If there's a way to get it out of the sewers, I mean, especially if we can get it to just be right at the bottom of the cliff, we've got room up here. We can shoot arrows down at it. With enough firepower, odds are we'll tear right through it and kill whatever it is. The other issue is those, how do we get it out safely?
Well, if it's not from this plane, we could just send it to a different plane, its home plane.
How? That's the most important question is, how do we do that?
Well, there's a spell for that.
Oh. I don't suppose you happen to know that spell, do you?
What is the banish?
Yes.
What are the odds someone here at this castle knows the spell banish?
Actually, very high. It's fairly low.
Oh,
It's a
seriously.
level 4 spell.
Yeah, but
Clerics,
it's probably gonna need to be a really
paladin,
high level though, in order to.
Rangers, sorcerers, wizards.
Yeah.
No.
That's the thing. I don't know how strong the
It must
spell
make a
needs to be.
charisma saving throw.
Charisma saving throw.
If
Ooh,
the target is native to the plane of existence you're on, you banish the target to a harmless demi-plane.
if it's
For
not from the plane
1
you're
minute.
from.
If it's native to a different plane of existence that you're on, the target is banished with a faint popping noise, returning to its home plane.
What are the odds that thing's natural plane is our plane?
Only one way to find out.
Very true. It's worth a shot because that's about the best shot we have right now.
Yep, we just need someone who's a very experienced wizard or warlock or sorcerer, and
Bound to
then
be at
have
least
them
2 of
cast
those.
the spell. Yeah, there's the Archmage Lewis. He's an Archmage.
It is possible that he might have something in that regard. Gisela and I have a fair assortment of spells, but that is not one that we have. He is the one who put up the wards for the castle, so it is more likely that he might have it.
Cool.
Sounds like we have a man to talk to then.
Speaking of those wards, if you wouldn't mind adding Elani and I into it, it would be much appreciated. Certainly. We can bring that up to him as he looks through his spells.
Well then, we're off to meet the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Strahd. Please tell me someone else got that joke. Please?
Well, yeah.
Anyone?
It wasn't funny. Try
No.
again.
We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of...
Yes.
Fuck you, that joke was funny. Laugh at me.
Oh, we're laughing at you.
Yes. Yes.
To note, do not heal Riordan next time we're in combat. Gotcha. Okay. That mass cure wounds is going to specifically exclude him.
Alright. So, as they are all walking toward Archmage Lewis, is there anything that Riordan or Darwin would like to say or do preparation-wise, whether banishment is the plan or other things as they are heading over there?
Go clean
mean,
up.
I mean,
shower, a
banishment again,
bath.
that's the best shot.
Do some
Easiest solution.
prestidigitation over his clothes and some mending.
I'm gonna be honest, there's nothing I can do to fix myself right now other than go to a doctor. I'm going
Did someone
to...
say doctor? There is a
Lord,
medical bane that
I know.
you can
I
go
mean,
to.
I'm not actually below half if I look at it. I think someone healed me at some point, but I don't know when.
You healed yourself.
Or maybe
with
that...
the mass cure.
I don't think I
wounds.
did. I don't have a... And I didn't use my healing spell on myself. I think I can use it on myself, actually.
Alright.
Is Lady Solarnum going with?
Yes.
It's both Lady Solarnum and Melanie is too, right?
Yes.
Is Giselle going with them?
Yes.
What the hell? Golly.
Why do we have so many people for? No, just. Gosh,
Yeah,
it's like I've got a bunch of stalkers or something, you know. It's just.
In order to just go to his room, do his thing, and relax.
Oh. Okay, so I guess Darwin's the one going with just. Riordan's just going chill, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay then. Well, wait, is the Archmage here in the castle?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, he is.
He has his own tower.
Oh, okay. I got really confused because I was like thinking we were going there, and Riordan's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go take a nap," and I'm like sitting here thinking, "Wait, are we waiting for the Archmage to get here? Like, what's going on?" I'm very
Everyone's
confused.
going.
Riordan's just wanting to take a nap.
I guess.
He works for the Archmage.
Yeah, Darwin would lead the way and just kind of pass the walk with my little conversation about the creature, trying to see if they have any better ideas on. If there's like a specific name for it or anything like that.
Okay.
There's any other possible ideas they might have for dealing with it.
Riordan's definitely going to need some wine to keep that thing out of his mind.
Or just someone who knows calm emotions. Oh wait, you already went to your room. Darwin can't help anymore. No.
There's also the possibility of someone maybe polymorphing it, but that depends on how long it lasts.
Very true. It'd be very nice if we could just like polymorph it into a rabbit and just chuck it somewhere.
That does not tend to go so well after it takes damage.
Yeah, we should just.
I don't mean chuck it somewhere where it's gonna take damage to kill it. I mean find a good way to get it out of here. By sending it to another plane with that
polymorphing it
banish
and
spell.
then pushing it through a gate would work, as long as it's somewhere where you can get rid of it. Gisela at least does have polymorph as a spell that she knows, and perhaps some others might. Archmage Lewis, like.
Riordan.
I suppose you know of a location of any good volcanoes.
They had a
Volcanoes
volcano.
particularly.
And it walked away.
Not in this plane, but there are a few in the Shimmer which are rumored to be around.
Umbra's like, I'm not going back. You can't make me.
I'm not going back.
We were planning on going there to try and find the Phoenix, but we could try scrying for a volcano. The only problem is I do not myself have a means of scrying there without having more information about the location.
I see. That's the issue. We're getting threat after threat popping up on our plates, and each solution to them is...
Send them somewhere else.
I was going to say quite time-consuming, but that's kind of the case too, yes.
Or we could just leave and have them duke it out and then come back whenever one of them is just left.
Yes, but there's an issue. Is that if objects are quite large and quite bad, and odds are there's not going to be much left of the surrounding area when we come back, and I have the feeling Stroud really wouldn't want to have to rebuild his castle.
You could just take the castle someplace nice. Like the Barrows. There's plenty of beautiful places over there.
Flashbacks to kingfishers that that Sills and Dobbs are gonna have to deal with, and it's like, no, I think we're good.
Why don't we scry for where Riordan where Sill and Dobbs are?
Is Riordan still here to suggest that?
Yes.
Hey, well, there you go. Darwin's not thinking of that.
Okay,
She's
so
always on his mind.
You already said that he was going to his room to relax.
Yeah, I know. He's gonna message Strahd.
Regardless. So, as...
If he's,
Go ahead.
if Strahd is not worried about them, Riordan's not.
I wouldn't say he's not worried about them, just more or less that you don't know where they're at.
There are bigger issues to deal with.
What do we have to? We have the Heart of Darkness. We have that thing rejected by the stars. What's the other big bad thing? Lady Solarnum. She's definitely no good.
So,
The devil, demon lord.
Archmage Lewis, when you arrive, does have a means of banishing. He does not have a means of scrying into a different plane, unfortunately. Strahd has a means of scrying within the plane, which is how he saw Darwin and the others when Darwin skywrote. But they do not have a means of looking for them
in another plane without knowing what plane it is and trying to create a gate, going through and then trying to communicate from there.
Hmm.
With planes and demi-planes to possibly search could take a while. Even if they happen to know which one that's so linked to.
So what it boils down to is just deal with the most pressing threat first and then deal with recovery.
That's what it seems like.
Alright. Darwin is going to bring up kind of a description as much as he can of what was down there, just in case the Archmage has any more intel on it. Because odds are, if anyone's going to know about Arcana giant beasts that shoot lasers and have magnets, it'd be the Archmage, you know? I feel like that's a pretty common thing for an Archmage to know is big beasties.
You'd think that.
But am I going to be wrong?
With how low of a roll he got, yeah.
But okay then.
That
Actually,
and the
odds
fact
are-
that he hasn't directly interacted with it, he doesn't have like just a memory of it. So
Saw something. I never actually checked myself if I knew what it was. It's probably actually I'm guaranteed not to know it. The skills that I would end up using, no matter what, are all shit. So never mind.
you could do history or arcana at disadvantage.
History. Oh hell yeah, I'm doing history. Get a +10 to that bitch. All right. Please don't be lower. Shit. Okay, so I'm sitting at a 17 for
Okay.
history.
So after a fair bit of time thinking about this thing that you didn't see but that Riordan described when talking to Strahd, and it's not been very long since Riordan has described it, and you pretty much ran before, it finally does click to you that prior to the shattering, this horror from the outside, that which the stars rejected, was in conflict with the fundamental reality of what the mortal mind perceives, strong enough to sustain it against the natural laws that would extinguish it. It warps space and time in its vicinity, grinding flashes of foresight and twisting attacks away from it, distorting magnetic fields to pull foes toward it, wrenching weapons from wielders' hands, and controlling the movement of those in clad metal armor. It does not seek service or worship of mortals, but does make its existence known to them, seeking mostly to incorporate it into their understanding of reality in order to draw them either mad and consume them, or quote-unquote sane enough to make offerings of other things to serve. Those who struggle and go mad either are food or are spared, based off of whether or not it is satiated at the time that they go mad.
So it's a massive threat to everyone.
It is a gargantuan ooze that does not care one way or the other, even about anything that is higher than it in terms of power. It simply wants to feed and continue to expand.
Well, I think Darwin just I think Darwin just found something he really wants to have a hand in erasing. The idea of something without morals, just eating away at everything, not showing any sign of mercy to any, even those that would try to appease it. Just it's a thing he would really love if he would be able to just punch it in the face repeatedly. But that probably wouldn't do much. He's decently smart, but now he knows what he is. So he would bring that up to the Archmage as it kind of clicks in his head. He'd just kind of have that moment of, oh, I know what this motherfucker is. I know what this thing is. And he'd bring it up and he'd share the same details that you just gave with the Archmage.
Okay. So, as you're describing it, Archmage Lewis doesn't seem to know it, but at least trusts from your description that this is definitely not something good. And I want you to make a perception check.
Gotcha.
At disadvantage. And Riordan, in your room, you may make one as well.
A wisdom save?
No, a perception.
I managed to get 26. Lowest roll was a 16.
That is a 14.
Yikes.
Okay. While Riordan is trying to relax, they still can, muffled, hear what Darwin hears more audibly. A horrific scream of pain that is cut short.
Oh fuck. Where'd that come from? Do we know where that came from?
It seems to be lower down.
Oh, man.
Like, are we talking bottom of the cliff lower down?
No, it seems within the castle lower down.
Shit.
Oh, no.
Okay. Oh no. All right. We gotta. We ain't got. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! All right. All right. So inside castle, Darwin's just gonna immediately just be like, "Oh, you've got to be kidding me." It should. I'm going to assume it's the ooze getting up through the sewers somehow, and Darwin's like, "Damn it! It should have been moving slower than this." So he's just gonna be like, all right, we don't got time to debate or do anything. We got to react now if we're gonna deal with this. And he's just gonna start calling people to follow him along as he runs down to figure out where the scream happened at.
All right. As you are running, trying to find where the scream happens, you both can hear as, still muffled, but somebody is shouting for someone to help.
My leg!
All right.
Riordan's gonna begrudgingly get out.
Yeah.
He's gonna pick up his backup
it-
rapier.
Can I tell where it is in? Yeah. So can I tell roughly what level in the castle it's on and the general area? Do I need to?
You would think it's in one of the basement levels.
Okay.
That's no one important then.
Is anybody following Darwin yet?
That's a big negative, Ghost Rider.
I mean, I would assume that.
Several of the guards are. Strahd and Gisela are as you were running down in the middle of more or less trying to get off any armor and the like, because they are wearing metal armor.
Good thing I'm wearing leather.
Kinky.
Okay, but I do have backup if need be. So he's just gonna keep on running down.
But the guards are wearing metal armor, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
You're not gonna have backup for long.
No, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing that I know about magnetism. Is that if it operates similar to a typical magnet, if it's only coming up in small bits and bubbles up the sewer line, its magnetism is going to be much weaker. Because the density of the magnet itself affects how strong the magnetic pull is, and assuming it's bending magnetism in a certain way akin to that, it's less likely to have as strong of a pull until they start getting closer.
Yeah, let's go with that.
We will see.
They screwed. They dead. They ain't gonna be in.
Well,
Part
the thing
2.
is, the magnetism isn't what kills them. It's the slime that kills them. Oh, we just lost window for a second there.
Did he say he was gonna do BRB?
He just said that he's fallen out, so he is going to just send me his HP and that he is running with Sil.
Gotcha.
That's what he thinks. Oh look, there's a rock. He trips. You're saved by his sacrifice.
Thanks, Dobbs. All right, but Darwin's just gonna keep on going because again, there isn't, as he said earlier, there's no time to sit back and relax. There's work to be done, and somebody needs help. Man, it's so weird. The bard's running in front of everyone. It's like...
It's not weird. That's how you made your character.
No, I made myself a really good character.
Yes.
Can't actually fight very
No.
much.
Okay.
He's a savior.
As you get down to the third lower basement,
Then there were 2.
you can see one guard who is gripping on tight to the entrance to a room. And he's trying to hold on while holding on to another guard that's also gripping it. And his legs are in the air toward a grating that's slightly elevated off the floor. And there is a body that is partially sticking out of that hole.
Out of the
Is it a
grating?
live body or a dead body?
Oh, it's a dying body.
Considering how the metal has crushed inward
Oh
around
boy.
the grating, you don't think that there's a way that they're alive. You imagine that
They're
was
ground
why
meat now.
the scream was cut short.
Okay. Okay.
Magnetism is amazing. The only thing that could counteract that would probably
Okay.
be gravity or another magnet.
Okay, it's good because I don't have any metal on me because I already chucked it off and I haven't picked up any replacements. Literally all
Suck
I
if
have
someone
is this...
had braces.
Oh my god, their teeth would be ripped down their mouth. Yes, that'd be horrible. Okay. Alright, so...
The 2 guards on the entrance are begging for help, as the other guards that are with you try to offer assistance.
Right,
Nice
well,
knowing
the first
them.
thing...
2 of
First
them
thing
get
was-
sucked into the room and are gripping hold to the stone around the grating.
Avoid getting sucked in. Okay. Darwin's immediately starting off with 2nd level Bless, so that if they need to do saving throws, they're going to get bonus to that. So all 4 guards will be having the effect of that. And Darwin's going to go for the 2 that are that have been down here for a little bit because they're probably getting more tired. So he's gonna just go over there and just kind of help them hold on for a second and try and start pulling them around the corner so they aren't getting sucked into the room as much.
Okay.
So the 2 guards that are on the door and then the 2 guards at the little hole have the bless on them.
Okay. And the other 3 stopped in the hall and are against the wall as it is pulling them in the direction, but there's a wall between them and it.
Yeah. And Darwin's just going to be shouting the entire time, ditch the metal, ditch the metal. And then he's just going to use bless, and then as a bonus action, just try to start helping the 2 guards that have been there for a little bit, holding onto the doorway.
Okay. And Riordan?
He's gonna be heading towards the commotion.
Okay. No, I'm saying you would have gotten there because you were not needing to go as high up. You would have been there about the same time.
Oh. Alright, we'll put away his rapier. Leave it at the wall so it doesn't get pulled in. And he's gonna take out his wand, like, gonna do this old school.
With a 10-foot
And
pole?
he's
29.5-foot pole.
39.
Can he use Earthbind on them? Or is that no, because they're not technically flying?
Well, it does specifically say an airborne creature affected by the spell descends. So that's separate from its flying speed being reduced. So that would help. It still means that the metal is being yanked, but it would keep them from being in the air.
Riordan can't do anything. He's just there for emotional support. Then he is only offensive spell.
Get over here and use your damn muscles, then, you coward.
Well, I mean,
Oh yeah, he's gonna go help with his Evan strength.
Like I said, you could still try the Earthbind. It would at least help him from flying up, but...
You know what? He's got rope. He's gonna attach a grappling hook to the end of it and just throw it down where it possibly
metal
doesn't
grappling
hit
hook?
anybody. Huh?
Is it a metal grappling hook?
Yes.
Now, see, there's the problem.
Okay.
How else is the rope gonna go down the hallway?
Or are you far enough away where it's not pulling metal yet?
Oh no, it's pulling up metal. He set his rapier aside and it's pulled against the wall right now.
Oh, I get what you're doing. Clever boy, clever boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's gonna let go.
Make
and
a
be
strength check as you are trying to move it while it is being pulled against the wall to get it to something that you can try to anchor with.
Haha, that's a 6.
Okay. It skids along the stone and heads toward the entrance. Go ahead and make a attack with advantage.
Hey,
as
nat
an
20.
improvised weapon.
No.
So,
Did you say advantage?
yes.
So nat 20.
Okay. That's a 4, so that is 8 piercing damage as it skids along the stone and sinks into the arm of one of the 2 guards holding on to the entrance.
Good time. He don't need that arm. He's got medical insurance.
Shit. Okay.
Oh, well, since he's hooked, yeah, Riordan's just like, hey, I got someone.
Okay. He now has disadvantage on his strength check to hold on. You have advantage to try and pull him.
I'm not gonna pull him, that'll rip off his arm.
You don't know if it'll hold. But, yeah, it's definitely giving him disadvantage on that, because he's having difficulty.
Get the hook!
Okay. Darwin,
Riordan's gonna...
go ahead and roll your strength check to try and keep this fellow from being yanked off.
Gotcha.
Because his grip looks like it is failing.
I keep on dropping my dice. Can't see because the only light is my computer shining on the table right now. I'm sitting at a 15 with my strength modifier.
Okay. You manage to grab hold of his arm for a moment before she's like, don't let go, don't. And he gets yanked off, hook and rope attached, and sails through the air, clanging into the grating.
Instantly
Sad
dead,
day.
or
He is screaming in pain.
fuck.
He gonna wish he did. Riordan's gonna tell him, cut the rope!
One's holding on to the rope.
He dead. He dead.
You can just let go of the rope.
No,
not holding
well, as long if they cut the rope, there's still rope there for them to grab onto and pull themselves up.
You said it
Possibly.
yourself. You've got a strength of 7. You're gonna get yanked in with them if they try grabbing the rope. They're better off holding onto the stone.
Well, are there any other guards around Riordan? Ask them for help.
They're
All
stuck to the
holding-
wall.
All metal.
And there's 2 that are stuck to the ground, gripping hold of the stone around the grating. But they aren't yet pulled directly onto it. So they're basically pinned to the ground. But they're not
Oh,
being pulled through it.
well, they can hold onto the rope then. Act as anchors. Be useful. Hold this.
Alright, so the guard who's holding on to the entrance that wasn't yanked is going to try and cut some of the straps for his armor. As he cuts off the chest plate, and it flies over, smacking into the guard who is pinned,
Oh boy.
and starts crushing her from the top. He too gets yanked through the air, slamming into his compatriot.
Oh boy.
They're both screaming in pain. And then the ones who are on the floor managed not to get yanked further, but they are still pinned. The 3 on the wall all get yanked closer toward the entrance. They are cutting off their armor.
Okay.
The 2 pinned to the ground aren't able to move their arms enough to do it themselves. Darwin and Riordan.
Very first thing Darwin's doing is he's running forward and just grabbing the arm of the first guy that just got smashed into the vent there, the one with the grappling hook and arm, and uses Dimension Door to get him basically up basically far enough down the hall where he's not going to get pulled by the middle, and we'll use a bonus
So,
action.
This room basically just leads into the hall from the angle that you would have.
Well, I can use Dimension Door to any spot, essentially, that I've been.
Right, that's what I'm saying. If you're just trying to get into the hall itself just basically leads to the stairs. You could go up within the range that you have to any place else in the tower. Just putting him in the hall would, unfortunately, just start putting him in the same problem as the 3 who are pinned.
Oh, no, I'm not saying I'd put him in the hall. I'm trying to think. So it's the hall, like, goes down, and then it's the stairs, right?
The stairs leads to this hall, and this leads to different, basically, shafts that are for dumping stuff into the sewers.
Yes.
Put him in the
They're getting
dining
pulled
room.
in one of those shafts.
Yeah, they're being pulled into one of those shafts right now if you don't.
Okay, so if I put them at the top of the stairs, it'll be fine to not get pulled.
You don't know with the closer set of stairs, but with how much range you have, you could put them higher up if you want to. The fact is that the guards were moving as fast as they did into the hallway because they were running toward what it is, so that was 60 feet of movement. It could be that at the start of the stairs they would have been yanked. It could be that they wouldn't have been yanked until they got further in the hall. It depends on where that which the stars rejected was at the time that the pulse was happening. It has 300 feet of range.
At that point, I might as well just put them, like, up a floor. Just... I had to have run past somewhere I could have put them safely, is the thing. Even if they're getting pulled by magnets, it's not going to do anything bad. So... I don't know, like, hallways have occasionally couches in them or something. Or
like
just
I said, you could
putting
put
them
them up a floor or more than that. Depends on what you want. It's just in the hall.
The thing is, I need to be able to run back down
They
quickly.
started getting yanked toward the wall as soon as they were in the hall.
Yeah, so we'll probably just go up, like, the flight of stairs and then in the hall entrance to it. So they're going to be up one floor, like, outside of the exit of the stairs to get up to that upper floor. So
Okay.
Darwin won't have to run too far to get back down. But it should still balance out. So he'll grab that first one with the grappling hook and Dimension Door. And then basically use a very quick bonus action of a 3rd level healing word on him. And then just get running right back downstairs. Or when I grab him, is he still alive? That's a very important question.
They are a bloody, screaming mess, but they are still alive.
Okay, good. Because that's the other thing is that faster I get him off of there, the better. So I'm gonna grab the one that let go of the doorway first. Then wrench a door with him up to the area I was just talking about. Healing word, and then just start running right back downstairs.
Okay.
Right. So for both back for that, he's gonna get 3d4 plus 3. It's small, but 11 health is better than no health.
Okay. Riordan.
I am here.
The rope is not.
That's cool. Well, good luck, everyone, and he'll just walk off. He has nothing to help with, and maybe start cutting off their armor. You know.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
You could
Yeah,
at least
he'll-
help the 3 that are in the hallway, because they're at least pinned, but they're not yet yanked far enough that they can't move.
Yeah, he'll start taking off their armor. And he'll make a quip like, I'll buy you lunch or dinner after this.
And then the piece of armor goes flying in and
Hits
instantly
you,
smacks you in
hopefully.
the face.
I mean, what?
I mean, I'm trying to be nice. I'm saving people. Like Superman.
Alright. 3 pieces of armor come off as you are helping, and skid along the wall. 2 of them stop. 1 of them rolls far enough to go through the entrance. Smacks into the one that is on the grating and starts crushing against his body.
It's funny how much we're helping, but at the same time, it's not helping.
Oh yeah, I know it's not gonna help. That's why I'm doing it. Out of character, I know. In character, Riordan's like, this is helping.
This is helping. Punk. Let's hear the sounds of the thunk in the other room. It's literally the sound of Gary's mod when you have 2 props colliding with each other too much.
Yeah, because I know that
Alright.
sound.
And anything else that you are doing while you are helping? I would say that would be free action and regular action to be able to help the 3 of them.
You got any healing spells? Or
I'm a
buff
wizard.
spells? Any buffs?
For myself, yes.
Anyone else?
I have jump. I have long stride. Blur. Magic weapon. Polymorph. Hey, maybe polymorph into a freaking elephant. Give me a greater strength to pull people.
Or if you
Polymorph
polymorph some of the people.
Polymorph does allow for the armor to be absorbed into somebody.
So it's like they don't have metal on them anymore.
Oh, keep that in mind.
He doesn't use it. Screaming eternally. Leviathan, you made it. I just realized we didn't ask permission for his characters to get teleported up to the castle with us.
I know. I know. I
Just
trust
thought
me.
that.
I know.
I can't hear you at all.
Hello?
He's gone. A thief in the night.
Like a knife in the thief.
Like a knight in the thief.
No, like a knife in the thief.
Oh, I thought you said
Bloody
knight
and
in the
visceral.
thief. Yes. These 2 guards if we don't hurry up and save them.
Well, 6 presently.
Oh yeah,
that's
but
stuck,
2 are in.
So,
Our men are in far worse cases than others.
the one guard that is pinned between pieces of armor is trying to get out of there. fails on both. He is still pinned and being yanked closer.
Oh, even with that bless. Oh no.
It's very strong magnetism.
I am very.
So, and because he does not have his chest plate on him, just that he landed back on it when it was on that body, the chest plate gets yanked down into the sewers. The back armor that he has is pulling, as well as the piece of armor that landed on his back, and is yanking him down. He does not manage to grip hold from the impact of it smacking into him, and he is being yanked through a opening that is too small for his frame. His scream is louder than the other one, as loud as the first one that you could hear from so far away.
I don't know how. Oh, I don't think I've got a healing spell good enough for that.
The two that are on the ground are trying to keep from getting dragged to the grating. One of them manages to hang on. The other is dragged on top of it.
So is the one that got shoved down the hole? Is he like down? Shaft.
You can hear. Well, Darwin can't because he's still running. But Riordan and the other guards can definitely hear the sound of metal scraping against stone and the snapping of bone and sinew and the scream that is dying not from immediately being cut off, but from the distance between the source and the opening of the sewage drainage. And eventually, it does just stop altogether.
God damn it. Alright, Darwin's just rushing right back down the stairs to try and grab the next guy and go with the dimension door.
Okay.
Is he able to get down there in one turn to just grab the next guy that's on top of the grate and just teleport him off?
Because you had used your movement last turn to get as far as you could, and this turn you're using your movement first, you would get there, but you wouldn't have enough movement after dimension doing him to start your next attempt to start getting back down.
It's fine for the moment because no one else has gotten sucked on top of the grate. Because I'll see that when I get down there, right?
So far, you can see it is
One
not
guy
the
got
same
sucked
person
down.
who was there. You can definitely see even more blood from what had been there, and you can see one of the two who was on the ground is on top of it now.
Darwin's just gonna curse under his breath and just grab the next guy and then dimension door back up to the top. Same place where he put the other guy, almost just rub it off. That way they're not sitting on top of each other.
Okay.
Then, with bonus action, slap another level healing wound on the first guy who was actually like really injured. Which slaps him with a 10 health for the first one that we rescued with the grappling hook in his arm.
Okay. Riordan?
Keep helping them out of their armor.
Okay.
Hold on. Polymorph. I have 3 potential uses. How many guards are here?
There's 3 on the wall, 1 that's in the room.
Hmm. Eeny, meeny, mo. Which one of you is gonna get turned into some? What's his level?
His level would be only 4.
Alright, so a CR4 beast. There's not too many of them, right?
Well, it can be that or lower, but yeah.
Alright, so that's a border elephant. Fantastic.
Elephant, mastiff, giant centipede.
Oh, it's a huge beast. Would it fit inside the hallway?
It'd be a tight fit.
Hmm.
As long as they're turned into something that isn't wearing metal, they at least wouldn't be yanked.
A giant light eel. Ooh, a giant squirrel.
Even turn them into a spider.
True, they just don't need to be wearing metal. I'm gonna ask the guy, today's your lucky day to be turned into an animal. What kind of animal would you like to be turned into?
A living one!
Alright, so I'm gonna turn you into bear. You like bears? You're gonna be a bear. Poof, you're a bear. A brown bear.
Okay, and he is turned into a brown bear.
Boom.
Which one are you turning?
The one closest to the hall being sucked into doom.
Alright. And Leviathan.
That's gonna be my turn. Yeah.
I am completely clueless as to what's going on.
So there are guards who were running alongside Riordan and Darwin who didn't know what it was that was encountered in the sewers and were still wearing their metal armor. And they responded to screaming as somebody was being crushed by their armor into the sewage drainage and yanked through a way too small hole. They found 2 that were hanging onto the entrance, and more got yanked into the room. Darwin has dimension doored 2 out of there who were injured the most and healed up the worst. And you are there with your character.
Oh yeah, he's the Goliath, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm the Goliath.
A perfect character
The
to have at this moment in
halfling
time.
is dead.
But wait, I just realized how much. Oh no, he Fennec took his metal stuff, so he's not gonna get pulled. I forgot about that.
Yeah, she shoved it into a bag.
Okay, so I'm kind of lost from that. So, are we fighting something? Like, what are we fighting?
I'll give you the
right
quick
now?
rundown, Leviathan. Essentially, we got out of the cave, went back up to the castle to tell Strahd, hey, we got a big beastie. And he was like, well, I don't exactly have a spell for this, but hey, Archmage might. We go to talk to Archmage. On the way, Darwin has an epiphany and he's figured out what the creature is after thinking back on history stuff. And then they're talking it out with the Archmage on doing a banishment spell. And then someone screams, and we all run to the basement of the castle where people are getting sucked through the drains like it's a spaceship and there's a hole in it. Because of the
Okay.
magnets.
So there's
Essentially,
nothing
2 guards
I'm
have died.
fighting right now.
We're fighting the forces of magnetism.
The forces of magnetism.
Hey, it's got the power
Okay.
to make you move.
Yeah, and crush your bones and snap you in half in probably the most painful way possible.
I mean, there is that.
Wait, so someone confiscated all my metals, so that means I'm not wearing armor anymore?
She
Yes,
shoved it into a
because
bag
you
of
were-
holding because you're being dragged toward a tunnel where there was plasma bolts being fired out of it.
Hmm.
Basically, to sum it up, something really big and scary caused our 2 strongest fighters to disappear, and then everyone ran away. But to run away, everyone had to drop or shove their metal items into a bag of holding. Which Fennec was kind enough to fly around on her
So-
broom and collect metal items for everyone.
So literally all that I have left is my great club and my ballista.
As far as what is presently on you, the items are still in the bag of holding. Basically, there just hasn't been time to give it to you, and then even if they had, that would have made it worse in this particular instance.
Well, since I'm not getting dragged down, can I go to one of the open holes and fire a ballista bolt through it?
You can, from looking outside the sewer exit back up toward the castle, and also from your trip down there in the first place, you know that is basically, if it's directly down at the bottom, it's like a basically 250 to 300 foot straight shot down, if that's what you're aiming for.
So gravity will help you out there.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna aim for that. That should make the ball do more damage because it'll hit terminal velocity.
Oh yeah, legit. Like, and to stack it on top, you physically cannot miss because the bolt's just gonna deflect off the sides of the wall till it hits the ground.
Well, that is if it's directly beneath it, but yeah.
Oh yeah, true. It can
Well,
help.
even if it's on the side, I might get lucky and it fucking bounces and then hits the side of hits the creature.
If
Well,
it
that'd
hits
be
a
another-
terminal velocity, it's more likely to get stuck into the ground.
That is very true.
I'm gonna take the risk of it and just fire it straight down.
Okay. Go ahead and make a attack roll with advantage.
And that's a nat 20.
Just thought of a very scary thing, and I'm not gonna say it until after Micah says what happens after you shoot the bolt, because I'm worried he'll get inspiration from it.
I mean, the bolt is made of wood, so.
No,
like,
that's not what I'm just not gonna give any details until after.
Okay. So, go ahead and roll damage and double it.
Oh, okay. 52 damage.
Okay. Now, I want you to make a strength saving throw.
24.
Okay. You manage to hold on to, but can feel the metal parts within the ballista being yanked toward the grating that you're above. You still have your movement as far as being able to move away from it, but it definitely feels like it is trying to yank it through the hole. And what was the total damage on that? You said it was 52?
52, yes. Question. Do ballista usually have metal? Because all the ones that I can think of are mainly wood and rope. Unless it's like a fantasy one.
So, ballista still has built into it typically the nails and pins that are meant for holding it together, because the wood itself with that much force is difficult. Plus, there's typically, for winding it back up, some measure of gears that are in use. It's why you were able to not have it immediately yanked away, because it's a small amount. If it didn't have the metal in it, you wouldn't be able to pull it back as quickly as you are able to.
Yeah, I was questioning because, like, real life ballista looks like this. And let me grab a fantasy one. This is like a fantasy one. Would have like metal and shit.
Okay. So, yes, like I said, even with the first one, there would have to be metal that's being used for pinning it together because of the force of the firing mechanism. It's not a lot, but the fact of the matter is that simply wood that's being used to join it, like wooden nails, would cause part of the framework to start shaking apart. That's typically why it would be used with old nails, which they did have even back before medieval times. Nails have been around a long time.
Yes, and I'm gonna add to this with the engineering perspective of that shit gonna break without nails. Just accept it.
Yeah,
Looking at it,
that's
the amount of force it takes to
definitely
launch a bolt that
something
heavy
that needs to be there.
snap, unless it was nailed in place. Because back in the time, they did not have wood glue. They did not have anything like non-metal that could bond well. 'Cause even if
like I said, they
wooden,
did have wooden nails, but the thing is that they
those are
still
not very
needed
strong.
the metal to hold it together. More often than not, a traditional ballista, you're if you're talking about like old school, this is from 50 BC. That bit that's in front of the bow, that's metal to hold the bow in place so that it doesn't rebound. So, like I said, you are able to move. You are able to set it down. You do have advantage on strength check, knowing that there's the magnetism. If you want to fire again and try to yank it back quickly on another turn, or if you use a action surge, etc. But you also do not have your halfling buddy to help with reloading it more faster.
Well, still, the Artificer Infusion would still be on it because Artificer Infusions don't disperse until I think it's like 5 days after or something like that.
Right. I'm saying though, in terms of, he would be able to basically, with an action surge and using his free action to help with all of that, be able to. What's the way to put it exactly? He'd be able to help fix it if the thing is starting to look like it's trying to snap from the metal being yanked.
Okay.
So he's not able to make a quick patchwork thing because he's not there. Right now, you are able to, like I said, keep firing, yank it back, but if it either gets yanked out of your hands or if you grip it hard enough but it's too weak, there is the possibility of damage happening.
Okay.
For that matter, you go ahead and make an intelligence check.
I got a 16.
Okay. So, while you don't necessarily know the term terminal velocity, you do know that even just dropping the bolts would help in terms of potentially dealing damage. It just wouldn't be as much as the ballista firing it straight down. So if you had to, like if the ballista started to break, you still could try just dropping the bolts and see if that will help. But from this distance and how far down it is, in character, you don't even know if you hit something. Out of character, you did, but that is unknown to you. So, anything else that you're doing on your turn?
So my character does know that magnetism is in play, like anything that's metal is getting attracted.
I would say that you would get that from how you can hear the scraping of metal from the one guard that's on the ground, and how he's slowly, slightly moving over toward the grating without trying to. Like, he's trying to claw away from it, and it definitely seems like he's slowly being dragged toward it.
Is there any alcohol nearby?
Is that something that you have on your character sheet? That you have alcohol?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I was asking if anyone else has it, or if there's any like near.
You don't see.
We're in a
You don't
basement,
see
so
any alcohol that's exposed. I mean, if you wanted to, you could try checking to see if there's anything that the guard has, like a flask or something like that. But nothing that is visible.
Okay, could I check for a flask?
Okay. Go ahead and I will will say go ahead and make a survival check. So you're basically, it's akin to looting something.
22.
Okay. There isn't a flask, however, there is a bottle of cologne.
Cologne is flammable, right?
Yes, it's mostly alcohol. It's just not drinkable. Or at least you're going to have a bad time if you do.
I mean, it is drinkable, but it's gonna be more painful than pleasurable.
Okay. How much time would it take me to drop a small piece of metal into the flask and then stuff a piece of cloth into it?
I would say you could probably do that with a bonus action because you would have done the free action to search him and the action to attack.
Okay.
One moment. Sorry. He just wanted to barge in and ask me to look something up when the session's over, instead of just writing on a note. Anywho. So, yeah.
Okay.
I'd say, yeah, bonus action, you can easily take a piece of metal off of the guard's armor, piece of cloth off of his tunic. Not that difficult. It's just going to take the bonus action at the time.
All right. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll make it like basically a mini Molotov cocktail. I'll use my actions surge to have my action back. Would it be a bonus action to throw it down the hole, or an action?
Well, you wouldn't get an extra bonus action.
Oh, yeah,
So-
true. I'm sorry.
I mean, you can just use it as part of your action. Light it and drop it. Because that would be basically two things that you're doing at a single time.
Yeah, that'll be what I do. I'll drop it down. How much damage would that do? It's basically a mini Molotov.
That moment when the Goliath is trying to kill the god ooze, destroyer of worlds, with a miniature Molotov.
Hey, I'm just saying, if it's magnetic, we just use that to our advantage. Drop a sword down the hole.
No, but it's ooze.
Drop.
It can eat it. It's the issue.
Okay, fire, burn it. Burn it with fire. Simple.
Issue is most oozes, or some types at least, are immune to fire. I'm not sure if this one is, but
I would
We're
say
gonna find
it
out.
is going to be 4d6.
4d6. Okay. Does it just hit because it's magnetic or what?
I would say it's going to be at advantage. Because it could go off as it is pinging around the hole itself. You're basically trying to just get it to drop straight down instead of hitting any of the stone.
Would I be able to add any bonuses to it, or just straight roll?
Unless you have improvised weapons, no.
$19.
As it
It hits.
pings around down the hole, it breaks and starts burning along the stone.
So no damage?
It does not reach, unfortunately.
Oh, there goes my idea.
Still could possibly work. Just needs something a bit larger, or otherwise not going to break as easily. So, all right, and the guard that is nearest to the entrance is going to try and get more of their armor off. Managed to get another piece off, which they flip up so it gets yanked to the grating. And clangs for a little bit against it before it crumples and then gets pulled through. The guard who has been turned into a brown bear is going to try to help pin the other two against the wall. Well, that helps. They aren't yanked more than a few inches.
You sure you didn't want to wait until we were level 20 to deal with this thing?
All right. And then circle round to Darwin.
Darwin's just gonna come running right back down the stairs. Or actually, will I be able to make it all the way back in one turn?
You'd be able to get, if you dash, to where the other guard is in the room.
Yeah, because he's the last one that's like in the room, right?
Presently, yes.
One that's pinned to the floor. Okay, so if I were to do dash to him, can I still dimension with him? Basically dash into the room, flying tackle, and jump on top of him and dimension door.
You haven't used your action surge, correct?
No.
Then you would be able to, because it is an action to dimension door, and dash would do an action unless you have something that would lessen
Gotcha.
your bonus
So I
action.
would be able to if I did that, though.
Yes.
Well, that's exactly what I'm doing. Nobody else has died to vacuum suction. That still leaves me with a
Magnet
bonus
suction.
action, doesn't it?
Hmm?
I know, it's just... Yeah. But that still leaves me with a bonus action as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so Dimension Door, getting that last guy out of the room. And then... Oh god, that's on a 4th level. I'll have to use sorcery points for that. And then I'm gonna use bonus action for another 3rd level healing word on that really injured guy.
Okay.
which, in terms of health back, he gets. Ooh, nice little 13 right there. Okay. Working with magic.
Okay. You've definitely seemed to have like closed the wounds and such. He's still covered in blood, and there's definitely going to be some scars, but they're not going to be as severe as they would have been if you hadn't pumped the healing into him. However, he is breathing more easily, and doesn't seem like he is in as need of it as perhaps the second one, who still was injured but not as badly.
Gotcha. So next healing spells will be going to him then once I get everybody else out of there.
Yeah. The first one is pretty much at max HP. So.
Nice. Okay. And still?
All right.
Or no, that's everything. Yeah. Okay.
Riordan.
Guard number 2. It's your lucky day. What animal do you want to be?
Something fast.
Poof, you're a hawk.
Okay. So, do you have anything that allows 2 concentration spells?
I think there's that feature.
Which feature?
Uh,
There are a few that might possibly do it, but... most likely being your feats.
spell knot.
Sorry, what was that?
Spell knot. I think I got it from that Matt Mercer campaign. I just wrote down the short version. Can concentrate on 2 spells.
So you can spend a action to transfer it into your spell knot with a successful con check against DC 5 plus a spell level. So, if you're using polymorph, you'd have to be able to use your action surge in order to both do it to the spell knot and cast polymorph on the second card. What spell slot are you using polymorph at?
4th level.
Okay. So roll a con check. Wait, check, where's it say?
So it'd be 14 to beat.
It It would be 9 to beat.
That's a 10 on the die. That beats it. Just with the die roll.
Alright, then you do hold concentration on both.
Boom.
Unless you've taken the feat on an additional time, that would be the maximum that you can do with the Spunlight.
Yep.
Just as a reminder in terms of trying it on the third guard.
He's SOL.
Well, that or the second guard, who's now a hawk, using his movement to try and fly dash the heck out of there. And that gets him 120 feet away.
Good.
That's another one saved, and another one saved. Another one saved from ooze.
Alright, the bear is going to help the third one stay against the wall. They're both slowly being dragged toward the entrance. Alright. And Goliath. Leviathan, what are you doing in this turn?
Yeah. How far away is the nearest bar?
It's going to be at least 3 floors up.
How many feet is that?
Going straight to the stairway, going all the way up, I'm going to say it's probably 180 feet.
Okay, this is gonna sound stupid, but how much to go straight up?
You mean through the rock? Through the ceiling?
Yes.
That'd probably drop to still 100.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of having. Wait. Oh, wait. I'm gonna quickly ask Meryl's character something. Hey, can you
He's not present in the
teleport me
room.
somewhere? Oh, he's not.
No,
Goddamn.
he dimension doored to get the other guard that was in the room with you out of there.
Hmm. There's nothing else flammable around, right?
You're flammable.
There might be stuff that's in the hole, but considering that there already was a thing that burned, it would likely be further down than that. Not something that's visible for you. This is basically where they just dump their waste that isn't something that they can reuse in some fashion.
So what just happened? I'm confused. Everyone just stopped talking.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do.
Nope.
There's still guards struggling, right? Or are they all good?
There's some that are in the hallway. There's a bear, and there is another guard. And there's Riordan trying to help him out.
Okay, he's got them then. Don't have anything with fire. I'm just gonna fire another shot with my ballista, which it still has the property on it, so I can fire 2 shots, right? Because I have 2 attacks per action. So both of those are with advantage, still, correct?
Yes. Just because, unlike the clone, which was likely to break along the way, they will still go down one way or the other.
Alright, 23 and 25.
Both hit.
Alright then, 6d10s give me a result of 35.
Okay. And Darwin.
All right. So, I saw that they were kind of handling the situation downstairs, right?
You know at least that there was a bear, and the others were at least pinned to the wall instead of in that room.
Based on that description alone, I'm definitely running back downstairs to help out whoever's left down there in armor.
Okay.
So, again, he's just going to be dashing down the stairs, essentially. Probably before he leaves, he will use a bonus action on the healing word once more, but on the other guard now that was more injured than the first. It is going to be a 2nd level healing word. So that'll be 2d4 plus 3. So only 6 HP, but it's the best I can do for right now. Then he's just gonna dash downstairs to get to the group that's pinned to the wall and try helping get the armor off or getting them out of there, out of the range of the magnets.
Okay. So there's one that is still in armor. There's a bear and one that is seemingly missing. You didn't see.
Again, Darwin would curse under his breath, kind of assuming that he got sucked in. Since odds are he'd run. Would he run past the doorway when he comes down, or would he just run up to the group first? Before running past the doorway, they would have gone through.
No,
for
you
the
would have run
magnetic
up
wall.
to the group. But the hawk, having flown away, didn't basically go through this, stay by the stairwell when they were flying away.
Okay, so I'd then probably go dash more so towards the doorway so I could see if there's anyone else stuck against the grate then.
Okay. No, you do see the Goliath there, but you
obviously-
don't see anyone else.
Okay, good. I'm assuming that's all my movement?
Yeah.
Alright, so all I'm gonna do is just turn around and brace. It's ready to catch the guy in the event that he loses grip or anything and comes hurtling down the hall. Basically
Okay.
bracing myself to kind of catch him and keep him pinned.
All right, Riordan.
That guy is gone. So he's gonna end concentration on the hawk. And target the third guy. What animal do you want to be today, sir? Or madam?
A bunny?
Bunny.
That keeps it simple.
Poof. You are a bunny.
Okay. And Darwin, from your location, you can see that where before there was a very scared female guard, there is now a bunny twitching its nose and trying to just hop away toward the stairs slowly.
And what's the con save for that? Still 5?
No,
Or
you already
9?
put the other one into the spell knot, so that one stays. It's just
Okay.
when you do that you have to hold the concentration. As long as
Okay.
as long as you don't drop the first one, that one stays in there until you take a short or long rest, I believe. Which is great for holding concentration. Alright. So, the bear and the bunny just start heading up the stairs. Alright, and Goliath, once again.
Okay, now since Meryl's character is actually here and I can see him, I'm gonna say, hey, how many more times can you teleport people? Meryl.
Did my sound cut out on me again?
You had it on mute.
Oh, I had my microphone, but I mean, like, I didn't hear anything for a second until someone said Meryl.
Oh. Yeah, I asked how many more times can you teleport people?
Done. I'm fresh out. Unless I start bleeding myself dry. It's rather poetic. In order to do good, sometimes Darwin literally just bleeds himself dry. That's an interesting idea there. But Darwin's
Sounds a bit
currently
like a ritualist.
incapable of doing any more. It's because of the whole sorcery point thing, but
Yeah, I get it.
yeah, I'm fresh out of dimension doors.
You have anything that's flammable?
No.
Dwarf without alcohol. What the
Racist.
Okay.
I mean, I guess technically I have a candle, but that's not going to be helpful.
The other one is down here too, right?
Riordan is down there, yeah.
Okay, I holler over at Riordan and ask if he's got anything flammable.
No. Just this bear and this bunny.
I don't think that they'll explode very well.
Depends on how much you put in them.
Question: how big of an opening is the hole that I'm firing into?
It's about foot and a half, almost 2 feet wide in diameter.
Oh yeah, that's.
Is it wide enough for me to pass through?
You can at least see that it does start narrowing as it goes further down.
I do not like the sound of that.
Especially since you can't see to the bottom of the 250 to 300 foot hole.
So you could just be wasting your supplies on nothing, for all you know.
Remember, I have infinite bolts for at least another 4 days.
Yeah, but I'd also like to point out, if there's anything at the bottom of that grate, it's the probably not living anymore corpse of one of the guards. So if you're hitting anything, you're either finishing off one of the guards, or you're just mutilating his corpse even more so than it already is.
Oh my god.
Again, there's a reason why I said we weren't fighting anything, except for the forces of magnetism.
Fun times at Castle Evanpeak. Tell all your friends.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna go up. I'm just gonna spend my next few turns going up, trying to get to the bar as fast as possible. You said 180 feet, so if I spend each turn dashing, that'll give me 60 feet. So I should make it in 3 turns.
Alright. And as he runs off to go and get alcohol, is there anything that Darwin or Riordan would do?
No, nothing in particular. Maybe actually go look for some more rope.
Okay. You had previously said that the closest city was Eld's Crossing. Is that the direction which you were running? Or are you running towards something further away?
To something further away, because she would know that Eld's Crossing has been destroyed.
Alright. And you also know about what happened to Shadehaven.
Yes.
So, That deals with what is south and far southwest, mostly west, of you. Or no, east. Southeast, mostly east. Which direction are you going, running away from your house?
Which direction would be the next closest town? Southeast?
Well, southeast would lead towards Shadehaven. Seeing as
That's
how it's
right.
been a long, long time ago, and you had basically left from Eld's Crossing to Shadehaven and hadn't been in the Barrows in a long time, you don't necessarily know what may or may not still be standing or have come up since you had left.
That's right. It's
long.
been about a year, right?
Yes. But it's also been a long time since you grew up in the Barrows, is more what I meant.
Well, she was in Shadehaven. The others, when they went through the Stormhold and all that
I'm
journey.
talking about you knew from your home where Eld's Crossing is. And you know where Eld's Crossing,
like,
where Shadehaven is,
okay.
but you don't know where
Yes.
other towns are necessarily. They might either no longer exist, or there could be new ones. You don't know. Because it's been, what, a few centuries that you've been in employment?
It's been a while. She'd head to Shadehaven, because it's been a year about, so... yeah, she'll head towards Shadehaven. And then... Tell everyone to double time. She'll be dashing and then bonus action dash all the way far as she can go.
Alright.
Does it look like she can outrun the thing?
Who? Sil?
Yes.
It seems like you're definitely making progress getting away from the Kingfishers. You don't know necessarily whether or not Dobbs or quote-unquote Stephanie is able to keep up that kind of pace.
She really does not want to do it. Oh! You know what? She's gonna ask, Stephanie, not Phyllis, if she's ever been to Deathhold.
Not that I'm aware.
Huh. Would you like to go visit? It's a wonderful place this time of year.
Doesn't sound it from the name of the place.
It's, what's that? Not a pseudonym.
I don't know when you're saying just it's not this.
It's not a. It's like a name for something, but it means like the opposite of it. Like a place that's called, Sleepy Hollows is full of a place that people that are always awake and happy.
I have no idea what you mean.
It's
What type of place is it?
it's a type of. There's a word for it. It's just slipping my mind because when you get older, your memory starts to fade. But anyways, it's a nice place. Just don't burn down any of the trees unless they start attacking. Do you want to go there?
Do we have anyone else?
Stormhold, don't recommend it unless you're deaf. Shimmer, I've only been there once. I didn't like it. It's a desert area. Those are the only planes I have been to. There's the bookworm's place, but I don't think he'd want me to show up
Well,
there.
there is one also that you've been to that you wouldn't probably want to go back to, but you do know it.
Oh yeah, the canis.
Clockwork.
The clockwork. Oh yeah. No, Cthulhu's little brother's there, so, and we don't have the right equipment. So, yes. Or we could go back to the Frost Heart, but that place is cold and full of very dangerous things.
Well, aren't your friends and such there?
That's a strong word. Comrade. Temporary ally. Maybe pushing it.
People at least.
Oh shit!
Help them
There's
here.
what's his name is over there. She's like, fuck. He's over there, so I have to go back and at least save him. So she's gonna open up a gate to the Frost Heart. And the front of the gate. Because Stephanie Notphilus would not be able to enter the castle. And so she'll usher Stephanie Notphillips and Dobbs to go in. And then once those two people get in, then she'll jump in.
Okay. So with your further out speed, you're able to get it enough of an advance to set it up, open it, before they would catch up to where you're opening it.
Okay.
Go ahead and make I will say a perception check with advantage.
Fantastic, because that was a 4. So that's a 26.
Okay. You see as they are running through, one of the kingfishers has one of its puppets on its tail, reaching out towards you like it's trying to push you aside to get at the two who've ran through the gate.
What's the puppet's race?
I'm just seeing which of the ones, because there's quite a few of them.
Yeah, you said there's 12 of them.
It is a treant.
Eh. Maybe if it was dwarf tree. How far away is it? Like right there?
5 feet.
I'm not gonna have time to go in, am I?
You can hop in, but it might be able to get in after you. You don't think that the entire kingfisher can, but the puppet that's on its tail might.
It's reaching for Stephanie and not Sil?
It's basically trying to shove you out of the way because the gate's open. Trying to reach after either the two. They've ran through the gate already.
Okay.
It's more or less trying to get in. Like, the kingfisher is trying to see if it can reach in and pull them back out. Which, as you know from gate, wouldn't work so well, but...
Huh. You know what? Roll this douche die. Okay, she's just going to let them go through the gate. And then once the treant goes in, she'll go in. Cut out the gate.
Okay. It is trying to puppet them. Let's see what it can make it do. Because you're allowing it to do whatever it can.
No, just allowing it to go in, and then right after she goes in.
Right. But because you're delaying your movement, it is able to see what it can try. See which one it is. Mrs. Dobbs. Okay. So it is not able to deal some damage before you go through and cut off the gate. Alright, so on your side, outside the gates of Castle Ebenpeak, you have Sil, Stephanie, Dobbs, and a breathing but unconscious treant with part of a kingfisher tail stuck into the back.
Nice. So, yes. I had wanted to bring the kingfisher itself, but then I was like, no, the puppets, all of them would get through it first before even one of them would come through. So she's not gonna take the chance.